Hello world and welcome to another episode of the Six Fat Show. My name is Namu and today's episode we're just going to do something different. Usually I just go to a business venue and just interview with the owner and just to ask how they're holding up with the COVID-19 situation going around. But this is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I'm just here in my own studio room and I am just, recording by myself. All by myself. And that is because of this specific place has shut down a while ago. It's this, this small, quaint Chinese restaurant called the Golden Wall, which was located across the Eastern Michigan University campus. And they closed down because two things, and probably one of them you would already guess is because of the COVID-19 and because of racial phobia that a lot of Asian communities are getting. The second one is, that's where I'm gonna start, just talking about that part of the story. Now, usually I would just have a guest to ask the questions and just to have this casual conversation about how, they're just dealing with the COVID-19 and all. But however, this specific guest did not really want to show her face on TV just due to nervousness, and that's fine because it's pretty nervous just to be on camera and talk and yeah. So before I give you guys the details on how Golden Wall shut down, let me just give you a brief introduction about the owners. The owners of the Golden Wall were known as the Yang family, and the one that just shares me the information and the story is her name is Sophie Yang, and she is the daughter of the owners. Now, Sophie was supposed to be my guest for this show, but again, she doesn't really want to show her face, and due to nervousness and stuff. So this is why I'm just doing a lone production right now. The owners are Chinese immigrants and they came to America around the year of 2000. But before they came to America, Golden Wall used to be a Vietnamese restaurant. So they were open, Golden Wall itself was open a while ago. But then in 2004, the Yang family decided to take Golden Wall into the matter of their own hands, and they changed it from a Vietnamese restaurant to a Chinese restaurant. From that point on, until they closed down, they stayed open for at least 16 years. Just 16 years of just good, successful business in their own Chinese restaurant. And a lot of people, they just love that place actually. There's been just good outreach. There's been a good, remarks about how Golden Wall been doing for them. I mean, it's not only they just, give good Chinese food, but they also have just great vegan options for those who don't eat meat. Now, going back to the part of how they closed down, of course one of them is because of the COVID-19, because of the racial phobia that's been placed around here in America, and the second reason is because their rent has been doubled while COVID is just taking place. So starting from the year 2004, when the Yang family starts taking ownership of Golden Wall, they start making payments towards the landlord, the owner of the property, with the agreed amount of payment. Now, how they come into agreement was with a lease contract for 10 years. And after 5 years or so, there will be a 5% increase. So starting from 2004, they agreed to pay $1,800 per month for 5 years. And after 5 years, there will be a 5% increase. So 2009, they will start paying $1,890 per month. Now, there's going to be a lot of math and numbers with this. So again, just bear with me a little with this story. Now, the year 2014 would be the end of the 10-year lease from the year of 2004. So they would keep on going with this 10-year lease, which of course was slight adjustment on after 5 years. So on 2013, they would only pay $2,000 per month. And on 2018, instead of going with a 5% increase, they would just go up just $100, which the cost would be $2,100 per month. Around the month of February of this year, 2020, when they were about to, pay their rent, the landlord was like, "No, you still owe us, $2,000 more," which was confusing, and it just showed that the landlord was charging them twice than the original amount that they agreed upon. So where did this additional charge came from? And also, they have agreed upon that from 2018 for 5 more years, it will be only a $2,100 payment. So the Yang family just looked at the contract again, and there seems to be like a wording mistake, but it didn't follow the attention on both parties. I'm guessing within this contract wording, instead of saying increase to 2,100, instead of increase by 2,100. Does that make sense? But even so, there was this wording mistake in the contract. Both parties were come upon to agreement and made sure that instead of paying 4,100 because of that 2,100 increase, they will only just pay 2,100 itself. And since from the year of 2018, they only paid 2,100 per month, and now all of a sudden it's been changed to 4,100 because of that big increase. Also, the property listing of that place said it would only pay 2,100 per month.
Hi, is this?
Yeah, this is him.
Hi. I don't know if you remember me, but I am the youngest daughter of Golden Wall.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'm calling because we currently have a conflict with your cousin, which is the landlord. I don't know if you remember when we signed the contract lease. It was for 10 years. Initially, it's like 2,000, and then 5 years later, it is 2,100. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So there is a mistake on the contract, but I do know that when you and my brother verbally communicated, we did say that it's 2,100 for the next 5 years, right?
Okay.
So currently, we are going to court, like your cousin and us, and I was hoping that, if you could come out and be a representative, if needed, to let everyone clarify that is the price that we agreed upon. Are you willing to do that for us?
That's, I would love to do that for you, but, they're already doing a bunch of nasty things to me.
Oh.
And, because they're really angry at me for, doing that email for you guys. It's going to cause me a lot of problems if I do that for you guys.
Okay,
like for Ivan, he told me to do an email, and I did that for him.
Yeah,
then,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I can. If there's like a paper that you guys want me to sign saying, hey, we had a 10-year agreement before they took over. I have no issue doing that for you because it's the truth.
Okay.
But I can.
You just don't feel comfortable. You just don't feel comfortable going to the court, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. I'm thinking, would it be okay to get like verbal, like have our lawyer call you just to confirm? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I don't know why they're raising the rent, why they're giving you guys so much issue.
Yeah, because right now, like, the attorney thing is basically causing us not to want to be there, and I don't know if that's what they want, I just remember when you were the landlord, everything was really good, and we were really happy with you, it's just unfortunate that sometimes people have ill intentions, so... But thank you so much. I will have our lawyer just to give you a quick call if you could just confirm it. I totally understand your position because they are your cousin after all. So, and okay. All right, thank you so much.
No No problem.
Bye. Have a nice day.
You too.
The landlord did something even more ridiculous. The landlord would just say, instead of that, why won't we do this? You pay us $2,800 per month, but you also had to pay for the property tax and the repairs for the buildings and just the land over it. You just had to pay for those things, but we still own the building. Okay, those two things, the repairs and the property tax, that's not the tenant's responsibilities. Not the tenants. That's supposed to be the landlord's responsibilities. The tenants are only renting out the place so they can just do what they need to do over there. Whether it's just like, just staying over there or just like doing their own business over there. But all of the just risks and all of the responsibilities of the building, that does not fall on them at all. And that's kind of just ridiculous on how they just place all of that onto the tenants, which is the owner of the Golden Walls, the Yang family. And it's like they just want to like push all that responsibilities towards them. Like they don't want to be a part of a liability, but that's what being a landlord is. You have to take responsibility of the buildings you own, of like whatever you own. I mean, even the city government confirmed this with the Yang family through the email. I think I talked a lot. Gonna need a little break to sip some Arizona. Yummy. Now, because of that huge disagreement, the Yang decided to close down Golden Wall. And it's really unfair on how that happened to them. Golden Wall has been a huge blessing towards the Ypsilanti community, and when people found out that it's been closed down, they didn't like it. They didn't like how this unfair treatment had just been fallen towards them, and they didn't like how it's been closed down just because of this double rent during the pandemic. It was just not unfair for them. People have been just like putting out words of how they're disappointed that this thing happened to them, and they just show a lot of condolences on what happened to the Golden Wall. The landlord changed the price, not following what the contract said, and they just are just doing this during the pandemic event. And I think I should have mentioned the Golden Wall has to change their landlords, but those landlords are in a family together. And it's really hard to see just like a small local business, but a very good one, had to close down during not only during the pandemic event, but also just how it's being like given like an unfair treatment of this sudden change. Now, I'm not gonna try to like defame anyone, which is why I'm keeping the landlord's name not revealed. But there's gotta have to be like a better choice than just like having their rent be doubled. You might be wondering, what's the next move for Golden Wall? And this is coming from the Yang family itself. They don't know. They don't know if they're gonna find a new place. They don't know if they want to keep going with this. I think they're just like struggling in between, just want to keep on going or just to give up. And it's understandable. It's not just because of like what happened to them, but also because of the current COVID situation. Now, COVID, there's a lot of saying about it right now. I mean, there's no other word for it, but this whole COVID situation is FUBAR.
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 FUBAR. Y'all got that right.
Now, if you don't know what FUBAR means, go look it up at Google or watch this movie, Saving Private Ryan. It's a great war movie, but for those who hasn't watched it yet, just a heads up, warning with, violence and blood. COVID is making us struggle a lot. I mean, we always have to keep ourselves distanced. Whatever we have to do, just, lower the risk of, people getting infected, and just put things worse where, people are just dying. And the reason why we just keep getting a lot of illness within our lands is because nobody just cares about it, and that's just really a sad thing to think about. COVID is limiting us, and you know, I like to go out. You know, I like to like just go out and meet people and just, you know, just be around with like people I can talk to and just enjoy the outside life. But at the same time, I am taking responsibility. I'm taking responsibility. I mean, I would love to like, you know, just go out and just like meet up with people and just enjoy this like the scenery of the outdoors. But at the same time, I cannot ignore the facts around me. The fact that, you know, that people are dying from this virus. But even when, you know, COVID is still around, I'm sure there's a lot of things that we can do rather than just like, you know, just staying home and just wait until the whole thing is over. No, I'm just saying, what I'm saying is like, there's other opportunities that we can do to like help another out. I mean, this is why I do the Six Fat Show, is because I want to not only just, you know, to go out and just like, you know, meet up with different people, but also just to share the news of what's going on in the local area, and just to share a story and just to share hope. And I'm really, you know, thankful for that opportunity where I've been able to. But I always gotta remember that, you know, that our lives are still at stake, and whatever kind of safety procedure that we can go through, we'll have to do it, because for the sake for our own lives. And I also hear that people are saying, you know, people are dying. It's COVID, so it's not gonna like, you know, change anything about that. Why should we like, you know, focusing on dying when we have to focus on living? I think focusing on living, that's the important part, don't you think? We don't live to become dead. We live to be alive, and knowing that we have a purpose here in this world while we're living. So COVID is still around here, but I say just do what you want to do and do what you can, and at the same time just be careful about yourself and those around you. Now, going back to the Golden Wall story, I mean, yeah, they closed because of the double rent, but of course with the COVID, honestly, people are really thinking dumb about this if they think like all Asians are just being virus. Now, being an Asian American myself, I don't put myself where I think that I am a virus because of something that happened in China. And I'm not even Chinese, I'm Korean. But this also goes same for anybody out there, those who are Chinese and those who are not. Just because something that happened specifically in China doesn't mean it represents us all as what happened there. We don't embody ourselves as the virus, but we're just normal human beings, just like anybody else. If you want to hear more details and more information about the story, about, you know, Golden Wall itself, I would say the best place you can start at is at their Facebook page. And you can just, you know, send a message through the messenger, right, the Facebook messenger, to Sophie Yang, and you can see what you can do to, you know, help them out. Either just like, you know, just restoring Golden Wall, or just, you know, just to hear more about what is going on. I'd like to thank Sophie Yang for giving me this opportunity to just share the story of what's going on with Golden Wall. Although I could say you kind of owe me for doing this episode by myself. I really hope that one day that Golden Wall can be just, you know, be back up again, because you got this like whole community just like backing you up, and it's really hard to miss the chance to, you know, to be back into that. And thank you again for watching, and follow the Six Fat Facebook page for like more updates and more like info that I could be like, you know, spreading around about like Michigan locals and stuff. It's gonna be worth your like. So now I'd like to close off by saying, of course, be smart, stay safe, and be friendly, because the whole damn world is gonna need it, especially during this time. Alright, See you guys later. Peace.